Good morning. Colossians 3 verse 2 says this: Since then you have been raised with Christ. Set your hearts on things above, where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. Or as the New Living Translation says, since you have been raised to new life with Christ, set your sights on the realities of heaven, where Christ sits in place of honor at God's right hand. Think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth. And so you have this kind of phrase, set, implies the idea of choice. When I think about setting, I think a bit like glue, when you're kind of sticking two things together and you want them to set. And Paul is encouraging us to set our sights on the realities of heaven, so that the things of heaven and the reality of heaven becomes greater than the reality what's on earth. Why do we need to do that in this season? Because it's easy to fix our eyes upon the news feed, on what the Boris Johnson or the government is going to be saying tonight. What is the latest, or what's the latest on Facebook? And so it's easy to kind of go up and down based on that. Let our emotions follow. But we're called to fix our eyes on Jesus, to fix our eyes on the things above. What does that mean? What does that look like? And as I was considering this, I was reminded of sunflowers. And I think we can learn quite a lot from sunflowers. I don't know if you've ever seen these films that they sometimes do for wildlife, where they just speed up a process. You know, they do like 24 hours in like a couple of minutes. And if you've ever seen a sunflower is called a sunflower because it follows, it is aware and responds to the sun. And the amazing thing is, they do this even when it's cloudy. They kind of just follow the sun. You know, this should be our heart posture. This should be what it means to be fixed. And the other amazing thing about sunflowers is that at the end of the day, they just flick back, ready to face the sun when it rises in the morning. And that's what I feel it means like to fix our eyes. It's kind of having this heart posture, like a sunflower that's focused in on God, whether the sun is out or whether it's cloudy. And maybe for some of you this season has been sunny. I'm aware of lots of people I speak to, and then this has been a fantastic time. I'm also very aware of other people, and I would include myself in this, where this has been a cloudy season. Really hard, really difficult homeschooling. But my challenge to you in whatever place you are is to be like a sunflower, just to follow God. Now this might be hard, this might be difficult, but creating lifestyle choices that helps us to make this part of a natural way of doing life. One thing I do to help me is I have a buzzer. This is set to go off every kind of roughly 23 minutes. The reason it's 23 minutes is it creates some aspect of randomness in it. I just know from research over time that if you set something to go off every hour, after a while you begin to ignore it. The way that this helps me to fix my thoughts on God and the reality of heaven is, every time this buzzes, whatever I'm doing, I have it just on vibrate. For that moment, like a sunflower, I might have kind of drifted away and I just go, God, where are you? Where are you in this place? God, let me become aware of the reality of heaven. You see, the reality I'm most aware of is the reality I'm most likely to release in around me. And certainly what I need in my household at the moment is heaven, hope, joy, peace. And the way to fix our minds is not so much by trying to empty our heads, because that's really difficult. You ever try to empty your head of something? It's quite difficult. But to fill our minds. To fill our minds with Christ, with who he is. Through the stories we read in the Bible, through the promises, through Scripture. So let us, as individuals, as a community, become more like flowers. Let's fix our thoughts, our desires, our aspirations on God who never lets us down.